Hello traders, very good morning and welcome to today's live market analysis by Tradeducation. We are at episode 166, and before I share today's analysis, I would just like to go through a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activity. Okay. So let's look at what happened on the Friday, how the auction developed, and let's see if we are able to find any potential auction development paths for today from intraday perspective. Okay, so let me just share my screen, and first of all, let me jump to the daily chart, daily candlestick chart. So one thing to note is, so this was the gap which has been filled, and if you know support and resistance rule. So this was a major resistance which is now turning as a support. Okay. As it is turning as a support, what is happening is there are a lot of weaknesses or visual references is where buyers are again stepping in and making, I would say, forced buying or sort of emotional buying is happening. Okay. So this is one data point. Second data point is we have got one more gap, which is around this zone. So 12,000, around this 12,000 zone. Okay. So we are just about, sort of 400 points, or I would say 375 points away from this gap to get filled. And if you see overall, a single day, the range is of 300 points. Okay. So what can happen is we can tag this within a day or within this week. Okay, but to tag this, first of all, there are weaknesses which are developing at the lower edge. Here there is weaknesses here, there is again weaknesses here, there is again weaknesses here, stops are getting built, there are again weaker references here. Okay, so there are multiple weaker references which buyers have left out, and uh, in order for the auction, so let's first of all focus on the current auction. So in order for the auction to reach higher, it needs to clear the weaknesses which is formed around this gap, and this gap should now act as a strong support of strong level of support. Okay, so some sort of pullback or some sort of reaction to it is what I'm expecting. If we don't get that reaction, then odds are high that we'll be tagging lower. Second thing is, from this gap till this zone, this entire zone is supply zone. Okay, there are a lot of sellers present in this zone. Okay, so just take care for the trades which you take. Okay, so from the volume profile chart, let me just add the data points of Friday's auction, and now we have got one more balance high. Okay, so if you see one of the references that value area high, there is a poor reference, and then the auction just went higher. Okay. Uh, Now what I'm expecting the auction for today is, this level should be breached. That is what I'm expecting. This should be breached. If it is not getting breached, it means that emotional buyers or laggards are again trying to jump in, and they might take the auction higher, but overall the range would be less than the auction which formed on Friday. Also, if you see the range, it is not so great, the range of the overall auction. So it's sometimes, I would say not sometimes, but it's trading in a very narrow range. And if you see from the selling range, so this is the selling range. So this is 289 points range, and if you compare that with the current range, 82 points. Okay, let's see one more range, 98 points. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to share you, that you have to observe all these things before getting or before planning your long or short trades, that who are the ones who are strong. Okay, let me jump to the VSA chart, and from the VSA chart, There is a HVN here, so let me just tag the HVN here, and yeah, multiple HVNs at the lower edge. Okay, so let's now jump to the market profile chart and let's see what we are able to identify. So first of all, we have a poor low, so that is a intraday references that I'm hoping for to get tagged. Second reference is this half back, where exactly buyers came in and then they took the auction higher. uh, Third reference is the high. Okay, not much, not a good excess. And yeah, so these are some of the levels which I'm seeing. So let me add this reference point. Now let me jump to the pre-open market session, and let's see where the auction opens. So okay, so 129 points, so it's a big gap up opening. Today is 31st of August. The auction is just closed, and 129 points, 130 points. So basically what we are gonna see is, let me delete all this. So the auction is going to open with a gap up, and this is another reference where the gap is. Okay, this is the level and this is one more level. So 129 points is big. So what I'm expecting is the auction to open and then just come down, or basically try to tag within the yesterday's or the Friday's auction, and we need to see whether we see a bounce back or tagging to the higher side, or we see continuation to the downside tagging the lows, and then some sort of sideways development happens. Okay, so these are the two auction development paths which I'm seeing to happen today in the Nifty. So the time is 9:14 and the auction will open in next uh, 50 seconds. Okay, so very good opening, very good gap up opening. Let me see if there are any comments. No comments. So now we just have to see the auction, how the auction is getting developed, identify where the retail traders are making mistakes, and then basically wait for the trade to complete. Okay, that's what we have to look at. So the auction will open in next 15 seconds. In the meantime, if you have got any comments, no comments. Okay, then let's look at the auction development process. Okay, so big gap up. It's again trying to tag higher. So point of reference is this level, 11,787. So let me remove all this, and now let's look at the order flow, how the orders are coming. It would be good, pretty big, yeah, heavy volume. So see, it's just been 30 seconds and about 4,000 contracts have been traded. So this reference has been tagged, and then sellers to the auction. So we need to see whether we see continuation to the higher side or whether we are seeing continuation to the lower side. Okay, so sort of follow through is what we need to expect. We need to monitor. Here there is a HVN at this level, 11,781.60. Some anomalies on the higher side, some anomalies on the lower side. As the market has opened, just stay away, just observe and look at the auction. Okay, so 11,790. Yeah, so 11,790 is a psychological reference. Odds are high that we will be tagging because it's at a round number. So odds are high that we might be tagging. If it doesn't get tagged, then we should see continuation to the downside, trying to fill this particular gap. Okay. 7,000 contracts traded, and it's been only 2.5 minutes. Very good order flow volume coming in. 8,000. There are trapped buyers around the highs. Auction is getting rejected around the VWAP. This is the POC, or the point of control of this particular candle, and from where there it is getting rejected. The buyer's commitment of traders is higher compared to sellers, so odds are high that we will be tagging the high. Okay, and it seems the issue with my volume chart is back. Overall, the delta is positive. If you see, pretty positive delta, but now sellers are stepping in. So currently there is no clarity in terms of the trade. There is no trade location. Let the market chop. I think this would be around 11,000 contracts today. 10,000 is already done. We are still 1 minute to go. Beyond that, 12,000 will be the contracts. So what is 11,790? Eleven five 36. So this is that 11,790 zone. Okay, so this, if you see this is that zone. Okay, so this is there where a sort of HVN was there. Okay, so that's how I was able to tag that zone. Okay, let me now jump back to the order flow. So 11,000 contracts, it would be 12,000, and now it's again tagging at the VWAP. So no clarity in terms of trades. During such scenarios, just stay away from the option, stay away from trading, stay away from doing anything. Okay, let the noise be clear. Okay, now again buyers are stepping in. So let the high be tagged, because the high is a psychological reference. Don't fight the trend. Currently there is no trading opportunity from intraday perspective. Now the high is poor high. Okay, again at that reference level the buyers have stepping in, and now it is again getting rejected around the VWAP. The high has been tagged again, so now momentum buyers are stepping in. 12,000 contracts traded, 12,393 to be exact. So let it go higher. So we are in the selling zone, so stay away from the selling zone. Just be a bit cautious. So again the high is poor. So if the auction is going higher, let it go higher. Don't fight it. Don't fight the trend. Humongous delta stepping in. So 223,000 contracts has already been traded. I would say from the buyer side, pretty good buying activity. So guys, today being Monday, I'll be ending the session in next 5 minutes. But this can be an opportunity to short, keeping a stop loss around the highs, or yeah, around the highs, and keeping your target at the low of this candle. Okay. So there is one quick scalp opportunity with the minimum stop loss and maximum, I would say 1:3 gain, I think, which is already been tagged now. So don't enter the trade, wait for 1 minute, wait for this candle to close, and then you can go ahead and take the short trade, because sellers are pretty dominant now. Sellers are, because buyers, I'm seeing, they will be getting exhausted, they will be running out of fuel power or ammunition. So delta is turning flat, cumulative volume delta. Now sellers are stepping in. And 6,536 contracts traded. The delta is reducing, and see now the momentum seller stepping in. See the pressure. See the tempo now. So if you shorted and if you're in profits, I would say book your profits, because this was a quick scalp. So a disclaimer here is I have not traded, because I'm trading from my mobile and my mobile is dead because it's not charged. And see how the tempo and how strong the sellers are stepping in. So basically those guys who bought here, they are just throwing in the towel and they're just trying to exit their positions. So I think, is this the open? Yeah, it's below the open. This is the open. Now if you see the fall in the delta. Okay guys, so that was the scalp trade on the short side which I shared, and if you are still in profits, you can book your profits. And with that, I would like to end today's session, and let's again connect tomorrow and observe the auction development. And do feel free to share this video among your friends and communities, and observe the references which I have shared. Okay. So thank you and bye for now. Take care.